G'day everyone, welcome to this final edition of DURKO's Notebook for the season. This time, it's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Got a lot to talk about, so pull up a pew, sit back, relax and enjoy the show.
You wouldn't fucking read about it.
So as we return to the Yas Marina circuit for the season ender with the title fight before us, it was interesting. It was a three-way battle and it was a tight one throughout the season. Piastri ran away with it, then he lost it. Then Norris came back, and then Max came back in a big way. And obviously the decider was that Norris was the crown champion at the end of it all. And I know it's hard to say as an Aussie, but I think Piastri's only got himself to blame because he went to sleep about halfway through the season and just wasn't switched on, despite some glimmering glances and hopes of decent performance towards the end of the season. It just wasn't enough to getting the points he handed away throughout the season. They're saying that Piastri was obviously quick again at the Yas Marina circuit, and he did an outstanding overtaking move around the outside of Norris. As David Coulthard said, that's probably the overtake of the season. I'd totally agree with him. Now, the thing I found interesting was Tsunoda's obviously got a 5-second penalty for just weaving all over the circuit and ultimately pushing Norris outside the track limit, for which he got no breach. Well, my question is, why didn't Norris just hang back and wait to get him under the brakes at the corner? Why did he have to think it was a drag race, that he had to try and outrun him and potentially cause this shit show of Tsunoda's driving that we were witness to? I think Norris, personally, in my opinion, would have been better off, as I said, to wait and just get him under brakes into the corner. But anyway, it is what it is, and Tsunoda's obviously scored his last penalty in F1 as a driver because I don't think he'll be back. Now, obviously, Hamilton's going to retire one day, and I think Ferrari going to need another driver, and I think that bloke's got to be Ollie Beerman, because he did an outstanding overtake of Hamilton, just went right round him like he was standing still. And I could see him leaving Haas to go back to Ferrari, where he did that one-off drive, replacing Sainz. And it could be interesting to see what he can do, because he's obviously got the skill, and he's been an outstanding driver for Haas this season. Now, my driver of the season, I'm going to give to Gabriele Bortoleto. I think he's been outstanding for a rookie, especially an experienced teammate, not in terms of wins, but in terms of races conducted and completed with Hulkenberg as a teammate. He's really shown him out, and he's shown what he could do with a shit car, being that Sauber, for what it was worth, being probably one of the most undeveloped cars on the grid this season other than the Alpine. And my question is going to be for the 26th season. Obviously, new regs, new cars, new designs, new aero packages, no more DRS. Is the Papaya rules, are they going to stay for 26? And out of these four blokes, being Zach Brown, Andrea Stella, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, is any one of them ever going to spill the beans one day as to the team orders that occurred during this season? Because it's going to be interesting if they ever do roll on each other and say, look, this is what the agreement was, and that's how things ended up working out, with playing swapsies and certain grids, pit stops that were organised. Was it a case of favouritism for Lando Norris over Oscar Piastri? Be interesting to see what time tells, if one of the drivers ever leaves McLaren or whatever and they say, yep, cool, not under contract anymore, I can tell you what really happened. I'll wait for that day. Anyway, it's been a great season. I'm looking forward to Cadillac turning up. I'm looking forward to Audi. I reckon the money's going to be on Audi to absolutely bring a bolter out of the box and just deliver straight from the word go as soon as they hit the circuit in Melbourne. Of course, pre-season testing is going to show up a lot of variance, but race day is race day, and what Audi can deliver on race day in Melbourne will be interesting. So, we have to wait, and I say thanks to everyone who has watched my notebooks throughout this season. I appreciate your support of me sitting here in my laundry underneath my kitchen recording these videos. Odd days of the week, obviously, and odd times that I do it when I get the chance to sit here at the desk. But I certainly appreciate the support from you guys as the viewers. So, the saving grace is you won't have to stare at my mug or listen to my voice for a few months until pre-season testing's done, and I'll do a notebook after that. And look forward to Melbourne, and then I'm getting on a plane straight after Melbourne to fly to China for the Chinese Grand Prix with a couple of mates, and we're going to have some brown sports drinks. in China. So that'll be interesting. Looking forward to next season. A lot to look forward to. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you in the new year. Bye-bye.